As the daughter of immigrants, financial struggles were part of my everyday reality. In high school, I became homeless and had to live in a women's shelter. Thankfully, being an APIA McDonald scholar enabled me to attend college and begin a new chapter in my life. And now, my reality is filled with endless possibilities.
맥도날드는 아시안 아메리칸 학생들을 위해 APIA 스칼렛으로 약 $300만 지원했습니다. 자세한 정보는 apanext.com.
네, 안녕하세요. 맥도날드 2024 APA 넥스트 온라인 칼리지 워크숍에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 저는 이번 워크숍 진행을 맡은 미주중앙일보 박경은입니다. 중앙일보가 주최하는 이번 온라인 워크숍은 맥도날드 APA 넥스트 프로그램의 후원으로 미래를 준비하는 차세대를 위해 다양한 분야의 전문가와 그들의 인사이트를 소개해주고자 마련됐습니다. 맥도날드는 2019년부터 아시아 태평양계 학생들을 지원하기 위해 APIA 스칼러스를 통해 약 $300만 수여해왔습니다. 더 자세한 내용은 영상 시청 후 apanext.com에서 확인해 주시기 바랍니다. 그럼 본격적으로 워크숍 인터뷰를 시작하겠습니다. 맥도날드 APA 넥스트가 후원하는 2024 온라인 칼리지 워크숍의 두 번째 멘토는 17개의 명문대에 합격하고 현재 예일대에서 임상심리학을 공부하고 있는 이고은 학생입니다. 이고은 학생을 모셔보겠습니다. Hi, Goon. Are you ready to begin your presentation?
Yes, very ready.
Cool. I'm going to pass the mic to you.
Thank you. So, hi, my name is Koon Lee, and I'm going to be talking about how to prepare for college admissions, share my own story of just getting into Yale and pursuing college education. So, introduction, a little bit about me. My name is Koon Lee. I was born in South Korea, immigrated to the U.S. when I was in 4th grade, so I grew up in Koreatown, and I am the first in my college to get college education in the U.S., coming from a low-income family background. Went to Lantern Charter School in LA, and now I'm a senior at Yale University studying psychology and getting a certificate in global health studies. My career goals is to become a clinical psychologist, which means it's like a doctor that assesses mental health needs of patients, and the population I want to work with is children and youth. So a little bit of disclaimers before I start talking. So there is this thing called swan effect, and it originated at Stanford, where a lot of students from like good colleges, when you see them on the outside, they look very put together, like perfect, and like they know what they're doing, and looking very elegant. But underneath, what is not seen, and what is behind the scenes is like their feet just pedaling and just working really hard and also struggling at times. So just a disclaimer to just like not judge someone's success by like what's seen on the outside. And it's so easy to just like forget about the work that's behind it. And the second one, for my high school students, that I am just a little bit ahead of the journey. So I remember being a high school student and like watching these webinars and feeling a little bit overwhelmed and like, I don't know where to go, but I trust that time and the process will take you. So remember that as you listen to my story. So first, I want to discuss a bit about how to find your passion. I am in the senior seminar at Yale taught by Professor An, where it teaches you some of the faulty thinking patterns that might not be the most beneficial to you. So there's two implicit theories of interest, where the first fixed theory of interest makes you think that personal interests and passions are just preformed and fixed, therefore it must be simply just found. On the other hand, the growth theory suggests that personal interests are developed over time. And these social psychology research really teaches you that viewing your passion as something that is developed and cultivated over time will really help you stay open-minded to new interests and be resilient at times of difficulty. So college admissions really views students holistically, you as a whole person. So they can see through your essays, through your academic transcripts, through your activities, like more of who you are and what your goals are. So college admissions may be the first time where you're thrown all these big questions in life about like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? But these questions that you will encounter during college admissions aren't things that can be answered in a month while you're just cramming for applications in like December. So I advise you to just like work towards these questions and build up your high school career in all the aspects so that yeah, when this time comes by, you'll be just so ready to share everything that you've learned on the way. So yeah, the big point is to create your own story and just discover more of who you are and your goals. First, I want to talk about academic exploration. I encourage you to just learn different things and challenge yourself academically. When you talk to people who went to really good colleges, the first question that they're asked is like, what are your stats? Did you have the perfect GPA? Did you like get the perfect score on SAT and like take all the AP classes? Strive for like good grades and also just work hard in aspects where you can and just build up your academics and push yourself in some ways that you can handle. And in terms of SAT and NCT subject tests, I really believe that practice really helped me improve my scores. And a lot of what standardized exams do is they just want you to like kind of know what the tests want out of you, and like practice will certainly help you improve the score. So have faith and try and challenge yourself in academics. And I want to talk a bit about some external sources of academics. So I went to a small charter school in LA, and they did not have some classes that I wanted to take. So one of them was AP Psych. They didn't have any offerings, so that's why I got to enroll at a community college called LACC, very locally. And there I was able to take some psych classes and some math classes that allowed me to advance to higher levels, and also just explore some classes that were not offered at school, like after high school is done. So one great thing is that they're free and transferable as college credits. So it's just a great resource to take advantage of while you're in high school. And this can really show like the colleges that you love learning and you are very interested in these topics. There's other sources where you can just find opportunities to learn. And one amazing thing is that these programs, financial aid is available. I discovered Coursera during COVID, where I was just stuck at home, and this is a website you could enroll in just any classes and gain certificates. So I was able to take this class called Science of Wellbeing by Yale University, and as a junior in high school. And these classes just exposed me to new topics that I wouldn't have been able to learn about in high school. So I do recommend checking this website out. And locally, there were other opportunities to learn, such as just neuroscience competition by UCLA. My local hospital called Cedars-Sinai just had a high school research internship, and I just applied. Why not? And the third one, this is a children's hospital that I always drove by, and they had such a wonderful curriculum where they invited high school students to job shadow doctors and hear about their work and their jobs. So these are some just exceptional opportunities where very rare to find, but if you apply and get in, it's wonderful to see bits of the world that you're not exposed to normally.
As the daughter of immigrants, financial struggles were part of my everyday reality. In high school, I became homeless and had to live in a women's shelter. Thankfully, being an APIA McDonald Scholar enabled me to attend college and begin a new chapter in my life. And now, my reality is filled with endless possibilities.
맥도날드는 아시안 아메리칸 학생들을 위해 APIA 스칼렛으로 약 $300만 지원했습니다. 자세한 정보는 apanext.com.
And the next thing is volunteering in community. I would love for you to just immerse yourself into the communities that you belong in and just volunteer and participate in extracurriculars. So first, fun activities. I was able to play tango and reconnect with my Korean identity and culture and spread that joy of music. Played on the tennis team, sports, worked as a peer tutor, volunteering, and made some friendships there. And the fourth one, Sages and Secrets, it was very fun and also meaningful. It paired young students, high school students, and elders, and allowed us to just mingle with one another, get to know one another, and it created really beautiful friendships. And it was especially meaningful because it was during COVID where everyone struggled with social isolation. More meaningful volunteering jobs. Cedars-Sinai, there were high school student volunteering programs. Students that were interested in working in a medical setting could go and work there and get stationed at a nursing station and volunteer. And Team 9, this is, I would say, the biggest extracurricular that I did that I listed on top of my applications was I was trained as a teen listener, where they educated me on just like all these different mental illnesses and just struggles that many teens deal with. And I worked as a teen listener just on the hotline, on the National Suicide Prevention Hotline for teens. It exposed me to a lot of stories. Some were really hard and some were very relatable. And it just overall taught me what empathy and being present for others is. And I really believe that it made me a better person, a better friend, and a better daughter. Next, leadership skills. I think it's always great to challenge yourself to take on some of the leadership skills to learn more and stretch yourself. And yes. So just serving as a high school leadership team really teaches you what it means to just work as a team and contribute to the school environment rather than just always just receiving. I think it taught me to be more active in my roles, working with admin and faculty to improve the school environment that I belonged in. Also wrote for the Korean American newspaper called Korea Daily, 중앙일보, where I was given the privilege of just writing about the programs and events that I was passionate about, and just it also made me a more responsible person, just being able to meet deadlines and work as a student reporter and an editor. So it was a valuable experience for me. There's some other internship opportunities, leadership summer programs that I would certainly want you to look into in your own communities. And pause. I think that's a lot. And I just want to mention that these activities were spread over my 4 years of high school. And these were some opportunities that I found myself, and each opportunity led to one another. And the reason why I emphasize extracurriculars a lot is because, what you spend your time in and the people that you surround yourself with in high school really shows, college admissions, that what you really care about, and it really grows you as a person. And I think, especially as a high school student, think less of a career, but think of ways that you can connect just your passion, and just think what do you like to do? What do you not love to do? And I'm sure that in college you'll be able to learn ways that you can translate those passions into a career. So for me, participating in so many activities helped me narrow down in my heart. Next, I would really want to encourage you to be ambitious. Applying to a lot of diverse sets of schools, whether it's state universities, for me that was Cal State's, UC's, and also looking into some small liberal arts colleges, and also looking into just reach colleges, including just Ivy League colleges. So they can be classified into 3 categories, reaches, where admission rate is low, you don't know if you'll get in, but you want to try. Target, it's when you look at the admissions file, you think that you can get in. Safeties and are schools that you, based upon your stats, that you're likely to get into. So applying to diverse sets of schools, and also just using these resources because you can. And colleges give you so many resources to grow your passion, so really be ambitious in applying to those. And one tip that I received, which was very much a blessing, is that search for all the financial scholarships. As a graduating senior, you will just receive so many different resources and scholarships that you could apply to. I don't think in no other stage anyone would just be willing to give you all this money and financial support as long as you apply for it. So I also benefited a lot from the financial support of different scholarships, and also look into the 2024 or 2025 McDonald's APIA scholars. They're targeted to different populations, so look into the ones that apply to you, and you should apply because you might get it, and I believe that you will get it with applications that sincerely reflect your passion. And do a lot of research to determine your fit into all the colleges that you're applying to. The name of the school matters less And what really matters is like how a college aligns with your academic, social, and financial needs. Consider like size, location, your academic major, extracurricular activities, and diversity of the colleges that you're applying to. And please just talk to older students and counselors that you have access to. And yeah, financial aid of a lot of undergrad colleges may differ. So yeah, do a lot of research in that aspect. And I want to encourage you that a lot of them have great financial aid packages. So be ambitious in just applying. I wanted to share a bit of my story in the college admissions process. So as you know, I am at Yale, but it was not necessarily my dream school. There is this process in the college admissions where you can apply early to one or a couple of colleges. Their deadlines are much sooner in November rather than the regular admissions of January. So people usually apply early to the college that you want to go to. I applied early to Stanford. I think the biggest reason was just how close it is to my home in California and LA. But I was rejected. And at first it was very disappointing. But also I applied to like total of 24 schools in the regular admissions cycle. And I eventually got into the school that I wanted to. So by sharing my story, I want to encourage you not to be discouraged by small setbacks. And really look into like what benefits this early admissions pool give you, and have faith in yourself, because no matter where you go, and the college where you will end up in is, I think, going to be the best one. And yes, do a lot of research and just persevere and have faith in this college admissions process, because but have faith in yourself too. And talking about more of struggles, my first year at Yale, I also came in wanting to study pre-med, wanting to become like a psychiatrist, a doctor, and I did not know what it really meant in college. I took a lot of hard classes, and actually what I realized was that none of the chemistry and the biology was something that what I enjoyed studying. So after a year of exploration, I was able to like drop pre-med, and I started taking some classes that were just like calling me. And that's where I discovered this new path, this like new career path of clinical psychology. And I was able to just feel so much fulfillment in the classes and be driven by passion rather than something that I did not enjoy studying. So though it is a slow and long process, I hope that wherever you want to end up, like you'll be able to enjoy what it takes to be there too. And college is really more than just studying. So the lesson I learned was try your best, but if it doesn't work out for you, I hope that you can have courage to also put that aside and to try something new, because you never know where your joy and where your passion lies. And lastly, I want to say you can contact me. I am graduating in May, but if you have any questions about Yale and college admissions, I'd be happy to answer some of your questions. May not be able to get to all of you guys, but yeah, thank you for listening to my story.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'd like to quickly ask you a question. So, okay, the first question is that you've been actively involved in many extracurricular activities. So, could you share some tips on how to find this kind of opportunity?
Yes. As I mentioned briefly in my presentation, I found them through just being more attentive to my local community. I looked into some of my local hospitals, local organizations, a lot of nonprofits where, there was opportunities of internships and volunteering where even as a high school student, I could get involved and serve. So, and each opportunity led to another opportunity. So, just searching out for them for your own success is great.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the tips. And the next question is based on your presentation. You volunteered at Teen Line. So what do you think are the most common mental challenges that students face, and what advice have you shared with them?
The most prevalent issues for mental health, I would say, is there's a lot of anxiety and depression among teens and youth these days. And also, just a lot of stories when you listen to them on the phone is it's like has to do with relationships, family, and friend issues. And many of them don't have a friend to just like tell and talk to. So helping people not feel alone in their own struggles is, yeah, the greatest thing that I read out of that volunteering.
Okay. And lastly, do you have any advice like for Asian American students who preparing for their dream school?
It's good to surround your dream and like your application around one school, but you really never know where you will end up and where you will thrive. So casting your net widely is great. And also, I want to advise students early on that having a healthy relationship with work is so amazing. And it's something that even at Yale, like I see a lot of students struggling just restlessly and being in this grind mindset of work when that relationship is unhealthy. Just working out of anxiety, comparisons, this pressure is not sustainable. It can just lead you to burnout. So especially in high school, just developing that healthy relationship with work where you're not doing this to prove your worth or seek validation, but truly just enjoying the things that you're doing and seeing where this is leading you and seeing the purpose of your work, contributing to your community or contributing to your passion and those near you. I think that is establishing that goal and passion early on will help you last long. And it doesn't matter where you go. It really matters like the type of person that you're becoming in that process. So less about destination, but about the process that you're walking through to become and to get there.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your college preparation experience and insight on college life. Thank you.